Lastly, I was supposed to put this overseas representative down, because with an overseas representative, you see all of this, they can help you fix it. In this video, our conversation will be around how to verify importers and exporters, particularly when you sign a contract with a buyer. You know, sometimes people sign contract with a buyer, and having signed the contract with a buyer, they are trying to confirm the buyer I'm signing this contract with. How am I sure that this buyer is genuine? So we'll be discussing what you need to know or how to verify your import-export contract. What you need to verify your import-export contract. What you need to verify import-export contract. What you need to verify import-export contract. You know, because sometimes people sign contracts, and you know, that's the challenge of international. You sign contracts, sometimes you're not even sure of who you are dealing with, because which is why you need to learn as far as international is concerned, because you need to be very sure of who you are dealing with. How does the person exist? Does the business exist? Are they registered? Can they be verified? Do they exist? In fact, this is the reason why people use company like I'm advertising for them. They are called DNB, dnb.com. It's called Dun & Bradstreet. One of the reasons why individual organizations use Dun & Bradstreet is exactly what I'm telling you about. Dun&Bradstreet.com. Dun&Bradstreet.com. Dun&Bradstreet.com basically helps in verification, because you need to be sure you are dealing with, and be sure that these people are going to deliver exactly as expected, meaning they are not going to mess you up. They are not going to you ship. So for example, let's assume you are importer. You are an importer, you ship, and so you are exporter, you ship, and then you ship to the wrong person. That means they received the goods and they didn't pay. Or you are an importer, you send money, and they are supposed to ship, and eventually do not ship. So in this kind of arrangement, it affects both importer and exporter, because it could be an exporter who ship expecting payment and payment never come, or an importer who pay expecting shipment and shipment never come. So both parties need to. The first thing you need to do is to confirm the identity. Confirm the identity. Confirm the identity of the party. So for example, if you say you are ABC, your name is John Smith. Your name is John Smith, and you are in Canada. So what I want to do is to be sure indeed you are John Smith and you are in Canada. So what can I do? I can go on social media platform to just check. Sometimes I might want to get to know your full name, because I want to. Sometimes probably even request for maybe driving license or international passport, just to be sure that we are dealing with an individual that is valid, because the idea is to validate those names. Sometimes you might need to get someone in that country, I'll talk about it later on, to be able to confirm who is this person. In this day of social media, LinkedIn can help you, Instagram can help you, Facebook can help you. There are so many ways, but one of the most vital ways is to get their ID. For example, maybe international passport or driving license. So for example, if the person is a verified someone on Twitter, if it's a verified someone on LinkedIn, if it's a verified someone on Facebook, that can also help, because they will have validated their picture plus their passport on this platform. Number one, identify the person. Number two, validate the information they are provided. Validate the information they are provided. Validate the information. How do you validate the information? You can decide that, okay, you say you work in this company, I can also check that online. You say you are into trading so and so, I can check that online. If you don't have a website, if I'm dealing with you and I'm going to sign a contract and you don't have a website, I'll be concerned because you're not giving me enough information. How do I get enough information to validate what you're saying? If you are now, say, if you're on social media platform, that makes it a lot easier. Actually, make it a lot easier if you're on social media platform, because I can now go and check the comment of your client, of your customer, of the people you have dealt with before. And if you tell me your address is at so place, I want to validate that address. I want to check to be sure, does that place exist? That might mean I need to get, now let me just jump to this, overseas sales representative, or get an agent. Now, so that they can help me validate the information, like the contact address that you are provided, overseas sales representative or overseas agent. Basically having someone in the export market that can help me to confirm. If you say A, I want to know, is your A or is your A B? And I may need someone on ground to help me make that happen. So now, this is supposed to be a company, right? If this is supposed to be a company, then the company is supposed to have a company registration. Company registration. So you provide your company detail, company registration details. Now, what does this mean? In Nigeria, for example, we have CAC, Corporate Affairs Commission. In some countries, they call it company house. Different countries call it different name. But the idea is this: whichever country it is, you can check the body registering business in that country. But you know the interesting thing? Most of those bodies have search on their website, such that you can just go and search that company name and you can confirm. Now, if the person you are talking to is a director in that company, you will be able to even validate his contact details. Recently, I had a client. He got a buyer online, and of course, being a student, is aware of the fact that he needed to validate the contact of this person to be sure this person is valid. So he will typically go and do some checks, right? So I told him, look, one of the easiest ways, just go and check before you even ask for the company registration we're talking about. Just check generally. Now, on that contract, there's no website. So he now asked for website. I think the guy gave a website of a company not in the country. This person claimed to be in UAE, but is giving a company detail or company website that's in France. So, okay, let's go and check now. Let's check the social media handle. No social media handle. There are some things that are red flag already. You shouldn't be dealing with a buyer without a company, a website. Now, if you must deal with a company that doesn't have a website, because some businesses they just don't take it serious. They don't see it's necessary because they already have enough. They don't think they need to market themselves. Now, if you come across that company, you must find other way of validating that is true. That means they're a big organization, they are doing so well. It still does not make sense to me, because in today's world, why will you not be? Why will you not be online? But I know some company might be like that. But the idea is this: from the website to the social media, you already have enough information. There's so much ways to validate today. That's why if you find yourself dealing with a fraudster, there's something wrong with you. That means you have neglected, you have ignored everything you need to check to even confirm that this company exists in the first place. You shouldn't be dealing with a company for the first time. This is particularly important when you don't have a representative in the export market. Okay, so let's say, for example, if I'm dealing with a buyer and the buyer can give me a letter of credit. By the way, letter of credit is an undertaking of the buyer's bank given to the seller, which give assurance of payment when shipment is made and documents are presented that conform to the terms and conditions of the letter of credit. Letter of credit is an undertaking of the buyer's bank given to the seller, which give assurance of payment when shipment is made and documents are presented that conform to the term and frame of letter of credit. Now, if I am a buyer, a seller, and you give me a letter of credit, nothing to worry about again. Because for you to get a letter of credit, you must be a registered company. You must have an account number, account detail with the bank. The bank must have done their KYC and verify and validate that you indeed can do what you claim you can do. That you indeed can do what you claim you can do. And that's why, and then you must have provided a cover for the bank. That is why the bank will give you a letter of credit. That is why the bank will give you a letter of credit. That is why the bank will give you a letter of credit. If I'm an exporter with a letter of credit, there's nothing else to check in terms of you being able to pay. But if I am an importer and I'm giving you a letter of credit, I still need to check that you will perform. By the way, I'm going to be paying 1%, 1.5%, probably 2%, depending on my country, on as a commission on that letter of credit. If you don't ship, I will get my cash back, but I won't get the fee back. If the transaction is $1 million and I pay 1%, 1% is $10,000. $10,000. I pay 10% to the bank for the $1 million transaction. I won't get that 10,000, but even though I will get my $1 million back. That will be a loss to me. So I still, even though I'm using a letter, I still want to be sure that you can perform. That means you have to show evidence of the previous shipment you have done. So, company registration detail. So I want to go and do a search online. And with the search online, I'm able to get the contact of the director, the name of the director. I can check out the director and be able to, it might be one of the directors even talking to me. Or even if it's a staff, based on I can reach out to the director just to be sure this company exists. Just to be sure this company exists. With this, it then makes it a lot easier for me to be able to go ahead and deal. Now, what is all this saying? That there are tools available for you to be able to validate the genuineness and the authenticity of the buyer or seller you are dealing with. So if you find yourself dealing with a fraudster, then something is wrong with you understanding the fact that you are supposed to do some basic checks. And that's exactly why we are doing this video, to give you an idea of basic checks you can do to be able to validate the existence of this business. Now, you can also consult legal experts in that country. Consult legal practitioner in that company. Now, in that country. So, for example, it's a lot easier when you get a lawyer in that country. You pay them a fee, they just do a search for you. The idea is I want to check to be sure that this guy can deliver. I want to be sure he can deliver. I want to be sure of who he is. Now, if I'm going to be sure of who he is, I can get a legal expert. So some of these things I talked about, particularly this company detail, and then even this detail, I might be able to need a legal expert. Now, before I continue, I don't want to forget this. If it's an exporter, I want to check if he has done it before. Can he provide previous shipping document? Previous shipping document. Remember, I talked about getting a legal practitioner. What legal practitioner will help you do basically is to be able to check some of those legal stuff, like legal registration in that country, and then their contact details. Pretty much doing some search to confirm this company exists and this person exists. But in addition to that, you can ask for, if you are an importer and you want to buy for the exporter, you will have previous shipment he has done. Previous shipment. So for example, quality inspection report of the last shipment, bill of lading of the last shipment, invoice of the last shipment, packing list of the last shipment. That help you as an importer. As an exporter, sometimes if your contract contains the account details, you can write his bank. His bank will not give you you can do your bank using SIP. They won't give you the balance in the account, but they can say based on the contract, this company has capacity to pay you based on what they have in their account. But they won't necessarily disclose the amount they have in their account, because that becomes some personal information that might not be necessary. So now, if he gives you payment term, you might need to verify the payment term. Verify payment term. That's what I just mentioned. Verify payment terms. Like for example, if it's giving you an LC, that is easy because the bank can validate that easily from the bank. But if it's not giving you a letter of credit, if it is not giving you a letter of credit, if it's giving you a bill for collection, for example, you can still verify from the bank that the bank is this is customer is their customer, and this customer have what it takes to be able to pay. That means he has the funding to be able to pay. So verify the payment terms. I think very, very, very important. Now, when I talked about legal expert, that would mean like some people will call it a third-party verification. A third-party verification. And lastly, I was supposed to put this overseas sales representative down, because with an overseas sales representative, you see all of this, they can help you fix it. That's overseas sales representative. They can help you fix all of this, because that means now the reason why if you're an exporter, I always insist for my client that you need to have an overseas sales representative is for a lot of just basic verification. Who is the company? Confirm the identity of the parties involved, validate the contact information they gave you, validate that the company registration is correct and complete, and in order consult a legal practitioner or third party to verify some of this information, get their previous shipment detail if you are an importer and the company you are dealing with is an exporter, and verify the payment terms. And many other information you may also get from other people. But in my opinion, these are the things I think you need to do and know in order to validate that the person you are dealing with is not a fraudster. Either you are an importer or you are an exporter. This will save you a lot of headache and prevent you from falling into the hand of the wrong person whenever you are doing your international trade transaction. Thank you very much for stopping by on our YouTube channel today. See you in the next video, and bye-bye.